The tennis star took to Instagram after a painful blow before the Australian Open. Tennis star Renata Zarazua has issued a stark warning about the perils of sun exposure after posting a disturbing photograph of her scorched back on social media. The 28-year-old revealed her severe sunburn by removing her top, displaying her top half in a shocking state of redness. The Mexican ace has been participating in the Hobart International in Tasmania this week whilst preparing for the forthcoming Australian Open. However, it seems the searing heat proved overwhelming for Zarazua. She wrote alongside the striking image, "The Australian sun is no joke." Hours later, she shared another photograph showing her blistered skin still inflamed and puffy. That caption translated as, "Thanks for your advice. Everything has improved." Following suggestions from her followers on treating the burns, Zarazua was eventually knocked out in the round of 16 of the Hobart tournament by American competitor Iva Jovic. She had defeated Hiroko Kuwata in straight sets and narrowly survived a challenge from U.S. player Haley Baptiste in earlier rounds. Before the 18-year-old Jovic ended the Mexicans' campaign, temperatures throughout sections of Victoria, which will host the Australian Open from January 18th, have soared into the mid-40s during the past week. Whilst Tasmanian temperatures haven't reached quite such extreme levels, they have still peaked at approximately 26 degrees Celsius, sufficient to cause permanent harm if exposed for extended periods. Tasmania has recorded UV ratings soaring between 8 and 11 on the UV index scale in recent days. According to the Cancer Council, Australia experiences some of the world's most intense UV radiation levels. Just 15 minutes of unprotected sun exposure during periods of elevated UV levels is sufficient to damage skin. It remains unknown whether Zarazua had applied sun cream. This marks another occasion where Australia's scorching conditions have affected elite players. In January 2018, Novak Djokovic and Gael Monfils battled through a sweltering Australian Open encounter. During the second set, Monfils visibly struggled, repeatedly bending over and failing to return serve in one game. The French player later described the conditions as the most challenging he'd ever faced, saying, "I'm telling you, I was dying on the court for 40 minutes.